Hey guys, sorry I'm just in the car, but I felt called to make this video. So if you're new, welcome. It's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. I'm an intuitive tarot therapist, a spiritual counselor, and a Reiki master practitioner. And today I wanted to talk about something that I've been seeing within the collective, within myself, and within a lot of my clients recently, especially within the last 2 weeks or so. So there's been some pretty serious DNA upgrades going on. We've had a period where karmic cycles are coming up to be cleared. They're coming up to be understood, healed, so that we can get to a deeper layer of self-acceptance. And when we accept ourselves, we are essentially loving ourselves and uniting the dualistic aspects of self, so the shadow self and the light self, into one. So when this is happening, we are going through a lot of physical changes, and there's physical changes going on within the body in the form of illnesses or diseases, or even just little symptoms or things coming up that you didn't necessarily experience in the past. So for basically what I've been seeing with my clients was that after sessions, almost all of them within the past 2 weeks have caught some kind of an illness. So usually just a cold or maybe some flu-like symptoms, but it's the cellular purging that's going on. It's the cellular regeneration. So I looked into the holographic field, which is what I do in my sessions, for one of my clients who returned a few weeks later for another session, and he was describing to me kind of what he'd experienced post-session, and he's like, I've not really had that before. Usually after a session I just feel really uplifted and like less stressed and energized, which is normally the case. In the 3 years I've been doing Reiki and practicing actively with clients on a full-time basis, it doesn't happen very often that people experience this kind of physical illness or purging symptoms, but lately it has. So this is why I wanted to mention it, is because this is something that's going on at a collective level. So whether you're getting Reiki healing or any other kind of energy work, there's just a lot of purging going on right now, even on just a day-to-day basis. So basically I looked into his field, and I'm seeing clairvoyantly into his aura, and I can see his cells, and they're showing me it like an x-ray, or like I'm in the body, but I'm kind of just seeing it through that third eye vision. And I'm seeing his cells start to glow from the inside out, and I'm seeing the light shining from the cracks in his skull all the way up into the crown chakra, and I'm seeing the bones start to reconfigure from the inside out. So from the marrow, where the DNA is, and in the blood, I was seeing the blood cells start to shift. I was seeing the physical tissue start to shift. The muscles start to release so that they can get back into alignment with where they're meant to be. So all of these different aspects were being shown to me. And in a previous client that I had, I was seeing the brain, like I was seeing it like an x-ray or like an encephalograph or something, where I can see the electricity and the movement in the brain, and I can see what's going on in the electrical firing and the neural transmission, or the neuron transmission. And it was just fascinating to me to see these things through this inner vision and begin to understand what's actually happening at a physical level. So, we talk about this a lot. We talk about physical purging. We talk about releasing and clearing and healing and all of these things. But to actually see it firsthand in my clients through their energy, that was pretty cool to me. And I wanted to share that with you because I've felt it in myself, but I've never seen it clairvoyantly for myself. I see it clairvoyantly for the first time for my clients, and I'm like, holy crap, this is some big stuff. Like, this is a whole overhaul. It's like going to, a chop shop and getting all of the things taken off your car, and then going to like exhibit and getting him to soup your ride up, Pit my ride. So you're getting like all of these new, you got a TV in your headrest, you've got all of this new equipment, all of these gadgets and gizmos and little bits and bobs. But the process to getting there means that you have to deconstruct. You have to take away the rust, all of the old parts that aren't working. So we're going through like this huge overhaul, and it's not like an overnight process. It doesn't happen overnight. This has been going on for a long time. But I just feel right now at this particular time in the Ascension process is there's an emphasis even more so than there was in the past. And I'm also seeing a lot of the coding 144 amongst other angel numbers, and I've talked about this in the past, how angel numbers aren't just like messages from spirit, they're also subconscious coding. So these are programs that are activating your DNA in a specific fashion. So it's turning on certain DNA and turning off certain DNA that you don't want, so that you can activate your 12-strand DNA and upgrade into this physical light body expression. Rather than being super dense and carbon-based, we're sort of transitioning slowly but surely over to crystalline-based. And they've actually started to see this within the DNA. So where it was 2 strands before, they're starting to see a 3rd strand appearing. So that's interesting. And it goes really into the junk DNA. It's not junk. It is coded information, like thousands and thousands and thousands of compressed units of information in the strands of your DNA, which when pulled straight can wrap around the earth over and over. So this is like massive information that we hold within our physical body, and we also hold that within our Akashic records and within our holographic field, but it's expressed as consciousness is expressed into matter through the physical body, the cells, the intelligence of the body as well. The body knows how to heal itself. The body knows what it needs to be in an optimum state of alignment. And it's just the mind and the consciousness that kind of needs to allow that to happen. And so sometimes the body and the mind can get into dysfunction, one or the other or both. And it throws off the energy, everything gets out of alignment, and that's when you start to see people having issues like cancer or any other kind of physical illness, really, from small to large. Everything that we experience at a physical level is a manifestation of something that's going on energetically, as well as usually at the mental and emotional realms as well, because all of these different layers of us are connected. The physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, the aura. It's all kind of part of that, the astral body, the etheric body. It's layers and layers of your body that go out from within and around your physical body. So be gentle with yourself right now. There's a lot going on. Your body is working overtime. Your mind is working overtime. Your heart is working overtime. Everything is transforming right now. And so this is a process of gestation that we need to be gentle within. It's like the birth of an infant. And I was actually guided to share this with a client, so I'll share this with you now. What I saw for her was that there was this period that she was in, that she was kind of like in this gestation phase that I was just saying, and she was like in that fetal development phase where everything is exponentially faster. So there's a period within the development of a baby where they're little tiny, like a seed, and then they get a little bit bigger and they turn into this embryo. And then there's like this skyrocket of production where everything gets built at a really, really fast rate of speed as compared to the rest of the process of creating the baby. So it's kind of in the middle. It starts off slow and it ends slow. But in the middle, there's this really, really fast exponential growth where you have to be careful what the mother eats. She has to be careful what she's putting on her skin, because everything will affect the baby so much more in that phase because it's growing so much faster. So it takes a lot of energy to do this for the mother as well. So she has to eat more around that time. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'm feeling like it's this penultimate stage where we're one step away from being fully formed and complete and ready to be born. And the judgment card keeps coming up. It's come up like 3-4 times in this week alone, with the daily polls on Instagram, and also just in my own readings, or the readings that I'm doing for clients, or the readings that I'm doing for you guys. So it's like the judgment card. This is the last step in the fool's journey. The world is the next one. It's being reborn into a new world, and quite physically into a new body, because this is the world that we inhabit. This is our reality, and everything else outside of that is just kind of a reflection of what's going on within. So this is a big transformation. This is not, a small part in the journey. This is big, and so we have to be really gentle, really careful. Eat healthy, which is difficult for some people, and it's difficult for me. That's why I'm kind of like I know. And focusing on the things that we need to be able to sustain ourselves through this phase. And it's deep and it's dark and it's painful, but it's necessary, and it's leading us to somewhere that's light and hopeful and enjoyable. So I look forward to continuing this journey with you guys. Thank you so much for listening. And if you'd like to book a session with me for healing or for tarot, you can reach me at services@2kittyandbeyond@gmail.com, or yeah, services.2kittyandbeyond@gmail.com. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. Thanks for liking, sharing this content, subscribing to the channel. Stick around for more. I do monthly horoscope readings via the tarot for all the signs, as well as collective ascension energy updates like this, and general spiritual chit chat, how-to videos, that kind of thing. So I love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.